When people talk about Japanese culture at work, they usually mention politeness, long hours, or maybe the bowing and formalities and all that. But as someone who's been inside Japanese companies as a interpreter, I realized that there are a lot, much deeper cultural rules that actually truly decide whether you succeed or fail in the Japanese workplace. So, guys, in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 cultural lessons that I learned through interpreting that most foreigners never really heard about. And if you guys working in Japan, or even just collaborate with Japanese colleagues, or people like if you work in a Japanese environment in general, these insights will change the way you see things. All right. So first, I want to talk about our first cultural lesson that I learned, which is no excuses and just results, guys. The first cultural shock for many foreigners in Japanese offices is this: Japanese people don't want excuses; they just want results. And it kind of sounds a little sour here, but I'm going to clarify it for you, okay? It's not that bad. It's going to make sense in a while, right? So in Western culture, if you need to take a day off, for instance, right? Your kid's sick or you have a birthday or something, you might explain the reason. For example, I can't come because it's my dad's birthday, or I need time off because I'm stressed. These are the things that you might say in a Western, corporate culture, right? But in Japan, giving personal excuses actually weakens kind of your position, right? So what does that mean? If you're in Japan in a Japanese office, and if you start giving personal reasons to take a day off, it makes you kind of in a bad position. So you can't really fight back. They're going to be like, well, that's kind of your problem. I mean, they're not going to say don't take a day off, but it's really not culturally not a thing to say so much, right? So in Japan, giving personal excuses actually weakens your position. And what your manager really wants is just like, can you finish the task on time, right? That's the only thing they want. They will probably ask you, yeah, like whatever reason you have, we don't care about your reason in a good way, right? We don't mind what your reason is like the most important thing is as long as you can finish the task on time, whatever project you're doing, if you want to finish it by Friday, if you can do that, go ahead, take a day off. That's going to be fine, right? That's kind of the Japanese style communication that I see in Japanese companies here, right? So that's the first thing. So instead of saying I can't finish this because of my family event, or I can't finish this because my kid's sick, a better Japanese style response would be like, I'll make sure the project is ready by Thursday, but I'm going to be out on Friday. Right. So just like kind of make sure that you're giving, you're providing the fact that the project's going to be done. So you're going to do your part, but it's like, as long as you do that, they don't really care why you're off, right? Why you're taking a day off. And if you're taking many days off and you're not finishing your stuff that you're supposed to do, then it becomes a problem. Okay, I kind of hope this makes sense, right? This sounds more clear, professional, and kind of results focused, right? So that's the mindset that earns respect in Japanese business. All right, lesson 2, guys. Keeping your word builds trust. All right, so the second thing I want to talk about is keeping your word is everything. In Japan, trust is built not by big promises, all right? Not by promising a lot of things, but by consistently doing exactly what you said that you would do. So I've seen Americans or Europeans in my office say that we'll try this approach, but we may change it later if it doesn't work. Right? That sounds flexible. It sounds really nice in a Western environment, guys. Like, yeah, but in Japan, changing things too often kind of makes people feel like you're unreliable. That's kind of the reality, okay? One Japanese CEO, a executive, once told me, plans can change. It's fine. But if you keep changing the stuff, if it's like it can change later on if something didn't work, but kind of assuming that it'll change beforehand, it's kind of a no-no, right? That's a personal CEO that I know who said that. And so his point was that don't think about changing it later. Exhaust all your options here. So like don't think about changing it now, right? So only when it doesn't work, change it later, right? So we're never assuming that we can change it later, okay? That's kind of the key point here. So if you say that I'll deliver this report on Monday, you better deliver it on Monday, right? You better deliver it, right? So even if it's not perfect, the fact that you kept your word, guys, this is huge. If you say that you're going to give something, you're going to give like a report, or you're going to turn something in by, let's say, Friday, even if it sucks and it's not done yet, do it. It doesn't matter how good it is. The fact that you actually kept your word is more important. This is a fun fact, guys. It's so huge because in a lot of Western culture, Western companies, right? I've worked in North America as well, but it's okay to delay something if the quality is not good. So for instance, if you're trying to work on a project and it's not done yet, you can kind of, brush it up, kind of prune everything and brush everything up, and then kind of have that delay and then turn it in later. But in Japan, it doesn't matter. If you say Friday's the deadline, you're going to give it in, you're going to turn it in, it better be Friday. They don't care about the quality, right? As long as you keep your word, when you turn it in, you can say, yeah, I really didn't have time. It's kind of shitty still, but I'll work on it still. Okay, I'm still gonna work on it from now on too. But this is what I've done up until now. Okay, so that's kind of the cultural difference that I see a lot. As long as you give the thing by the day that you said you were gonna give it, they're not gonna care if the quality is bad. Okay, I mean, don't give them crap, but you know what I mean, right? That's kind of one thing that I noticed. So number 3, the team comes first. Okay, we're gonna move on to our third point. Finally, always put the team first, right? In many Western companies, standing out as an individual is praised, but in Japan, being the hero can kind of backfire if it kind of makes a team look weak, right? So for example, I've seen foreigners speak up strongly in meetings with brilliant, great ideas, guys, only to lose influence because the group felt they weren't really thinking about harmony, right? So what this means is I've seen a lot of people stand out in meetings, but the group, so the coworkers thought it was a good idea, but because he was standing out a little too much, these people here, the Japanese coworkers, thought that this guy's not thinking about harmony. This guy's kind of not thinking about reading the air, kind of thing, reading the atmosphere. So this guy kind of lost their trust. Okay, and we don't want that to happen. So in Japan, leaders and coworkers value someone who asks, how can I support the group? How can I make the team look good? It's not about you, it's how you can contribute to the team. That's kind of the important thing that I learned here. And it doesn't mean you should never shine, right? I'm not saying that don't ever shine, don't look good. It means when the group succeeds, you also succeed. Right, so this kind of team first mindset is one of the biggest keys to long-term success in a Japanese company. That's what I think. Right, so when it comes to Japanese work culture, it's not about just politeness or formality, right? It's about 3 deeper values. I think that there's 3 things. 1, focus on results, not excuses. We talked about this, right? And 2, kind of the recap. Keep your word and don't change it. Don't keep changing stuff after you said you're going to do that, right? And number 3, put the team above yourself. All right, this is really important. I kind of wanted these 3 points to kind of hit home because it's very important, right? And if you ever struggled working with Japanese colleagues, these cultural rules are probably the reason why, right? And if you want to go further, guys, learning not just the words, but how to actually succeed in Japanese business culture. I do have a program where after completion, you're going to have more confidence just interacting with people at work. A lot of people on YouTube, these Japanese teachers, they're great people, I bet, but they only teach Japanese, right? What I have is, because I thought there's not a lot of information about business Japanese, I do teach that here on YouTube like this, and I do have a personal course. So anyways, guys, no pressure. If you think it's for you, I'll put a application form below. So please apply from there. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for letting me serve you on YouTube like this. And guys, like I always say, if you think this is helpful, please share it with friends and family because I'd like to see a lot of more happy faces in the future. And yeah, I think that repetition is key. So talk about it with friends and family. Rewatch this video. These are very important points that I learned at a Japanese company that I work at here in Japan. So anyways, guys, thanks for listening to this video, watching this video. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.